All right, guys. Welcome back to the market view video. So let's talk about the markets again. All right, and we'll mostly focus on India 50 USD because I mean mostly it's Nifty, right? So Nifty futures. Because if it's in a downtrend continuously, then there's no point looking at the other indices. They're not going anywhere. Most of them will tend to be downtrending as well. All right. See, outperformance on the upside only comes when the volatility is very low on the lower end. When the volatility rises, all the indices will start mostly heading downwards. And in this market, if you see something like the defensive sectors, let me just pull it up. So you see something like the defensive sectors, they're falling even more than the high beta space, right? You see something like FMCG, it's been downtrending for some time. Something like Nifty Pharma. Nifty Pharma has also been downtrending for some time. So none of the areas of the market are left, right? Most of them are trying to come on the downside. So mostly focus on your index, all right? And one index which you should keep on watch is energy and metals. Energy and metals, they might pull back and again stabilize, but the point is they've moved up in the previous 2 3 days, so we need to give them some time to stabilize, all right? So let's talk about India 50 USD. So last time, if you remember, we talked about this supply. All right. We talked about this supply, which was the last base and could have served as a nice continuation point for the downtrend. And then we talked about this demand zone as well. All right. We also talked about this demand zone, but then it got broken overnight itself, and then it started to downtrend from here on. So see, the demand is not broken until it's tested 2 or 3 times, and then when the break happens, that is when you will get that big move, right? So until the demand is tested at least 2 or 3 times, do not play for the break of the demand zone, because then you will get reversals like these from the lows, right? The lows might get I mean it might go below the low here and then go back up from some lower level inside this same demand zone. So until it's tested at least 3 4 times, um, don't hope for something like this. And then you see a big move happened. We retested the previous supply and then again we started to fall down. All right. So the structure remains mostly same. Now our reference zone is this one right here. Our reference zone is this area right here. And you see here as well. First test we spiked up. Second test we spiked up till the next supply, and now we're getting a bit weak again, right? We're getting a bit weak again around this zone, right? And the plan of action here is to focus on this supply area right here. This area of supply is very important, right? So two things can happen here. Either Nifty goes up and it goes sideways here, but if Nifty goes up and it starts to drop right here, that is when you can see another big fall on the downside, all right? But the main point is that there's a lot of space which is left here, right? It went straight down. So a lot of space is left between this area to get to uh, completely get traded, right? And then only you will look at some of the shorting opportunities. Now, what if it doesn't come all the way till this supply? Then what should we do? In that case, what we'll do is we'll go to some sort of a lower time frame supply zone, all right? And a lower time frame base which made the new low. So see, this is your uptrending structure right here, right? This broke through the supply as well, even though it did not break through this base, which is what I look for mostly when I'm looking for a change in trend. But still, this up move was very strong, right? Now you see this supply right here, this base right here, this side base movement took this low out, right? It took this low out and it's already tested the supply, and again we are falling. So tomorrow, if Nifty spikes up in the morning and it starts to fade again around some internal demands on mostly this one, that is when you can get a short as well. All right, we might not go all the way up, but remember, if you're taking this short, taking a short here, looking at the 1 minute chart, remember to take it with a smaller size, because we still have some space on the higher side and the hourly chart is not that good. All right. So the view is definitely bearish. There is nothing bullish about it until it breaks through this high, which is basically 16,950 or something, right? Around that level itself, 16,950, right? So now let's look at Bank Nifty as well. Bank Nifty much weaker than Nifty. So Bank Nifty, if you remember, we're talking about Bank Nifty being strong somewhere here, right? And on this day of breakdown, from this day of breakdown, Bank Nifty has been underperforming the index. All right. So this is why I was saying that whatever structures you're buying here, buy with small size, right? We're trying to chase strong structures. We're not trying to predict what will go up, what will go down, right? So there was a demand zone in Bank Nifty here, which made this new high. And then when this got broken here, Bank Nifty has gotten very weak, right? And you see again, it tested out this area of demand multiple times. This is somewhere here is your first test. We get a spike. Second test, also we get some spike. Now third test is failing again. And this is what we do not want to see, right? So Bank Nifty, if you see, this is your previous base right here, just like Nifty. So again, if you see some spike here and we do not sustain in this entire area, then we can again see a down move, right? If we start holding some internal demand zone, then don't short it. If it's above the 50 EMA and we start forming some sort of bullish breakouts here, do not short it. What we want is we want a quick spike and a quick failure. What can also happen is it might just gap down here itself. In that case, I wouldn't participate here, all right? Because if you see the retest of this supply has already happened. So in that case, I will not participate because it will just continue to move down. And the purpose of the pullback is done. It was to test out the previous base. It's already done. All right. So let's look at some other indices as well. I'm pretty sure nothing is any different. Now Nifty IT is getting a bit strong, right? Nifty IT is getting a bit strong. But if you see what is going on in Nifty IT, there is this base right here, which made this low. So until this high is taken out, there is nothing to be bullish about in Nifty IT. All right. Even though we are holding this structure right here, I would still not be very bullish about this area until we start to see some strong breakouts in this chart. All right. Nifty Energy is kind of getting into a bullish structure, but the point is that it ran up too much, right? So now what we're expecting some pullback and then a sideways structure if we want the up move to continue. All right. Nothing right now in this. Nifty Metal, same. We talked about this already. I think this is from the session. Never mind. Nifty Small Cap. All right. Nifty Small Cap. Again, see. Nifty Small Cap, we talked about some up move here. We got a little up move. I took a few trades as well, right? But now what is happening is, you see, this is turning around from the previous base right here. The bases are very thin here. It's turning around from the previous base. And now we are starting to fall again. And this is what we do not want to see. So stay away from small cap stocks for the meantime. Nifty Media, again, same thing, failing at previous supplies. Nifty Mid Cap as well, failing. All right. Nifty Realty is especially weak. All right. If you see, it never really crossed up and now it's failing again. Nifty PSU Bank also weak. Nifty Pharma also very weak. Right. Nifty Finance making newer lows. Bank Nifty as well, same thing. Nifty FMCG making newer lows and Nifty Auto as well, very weak. So Nifty Auto and Nifty Bank got very weak here. Right? That is when I gave up all the Nifty Auto positions which I talked about, all right, on this day itself, because I know if it's underperforming here and the pullback is starting to fail, I know this thing is coming, right? So never see if something is strong here, right? It will take only one day for this entire structure to change. So one day of volatility and we start to drop here, all right? So never take anything for granted that it was strong here, so it will definitely rebound. No, if it's getting weak, the structure is failing, no matter how strong it was in the previous days. If the structure is failing, now just exit the positions and take the minor loss which you get before it turns into something major. All right. So that is the view for the indices. Here, nothing special going on. We are seeing some sort of downtrend developing in Nifty. All right. So be a bit careful and especially stay away from small and mid caps. All right. So that will be it for this video, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Make sure that you like and share the videos as well, and drop a comment if you found it useful. It will help the channel to grow. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one.